Sorry.
Oh my god. This guy's got a bit or something.
All right, you ready? We still going? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the FloGrappling show. As always, I'm the Brawler Big Nasty himself, and then over here we got Uncle Reed. Today we're going to be talking about a little bit of Euros recap, and then we're going to dive into some Polaris. What are you laughing for off the rip?
The Brawler? What did you say?
The Brawler Big Nasty?
Yeah, that's what your name is?
Literally everyone knows me as that. Don't act like because we just started recording that everyone in the office doesn't call me the Brawler Big Nasty.
I thought you were going to introduce me as Luther Manhole, like you said you were.
You wish, dude. That is one of the sickest names. If you guys know the band Chat Pile, I just found out there. One of their members' name is Luther Manhole.
Trey's a big fan.
Incredible
Trey's
name,
a fan.
you know? But,
all right, nobody calls you that here, but yeah, FloGrappling show Euros just happened.
Yeah,
should be
literally
sick.
Everyone calls me that, but you know, whatever. We can get into the Euros recap. Yeah, some sick action in Portugal. I thought this was a good one. You know, overall, I think I'm going to give this the Big Nasty stamp of approval. I thought it was a fun event. I enjoyed watching it. So that's a hot take out of me, out of the rip, you know, that I approve of the action that went down
Good.
In Lisbon. Yes, certified good on the Brawler scale.
That's not a scale.
The Brawler
Nobody's heard of that scale.
Of I got to think of more B words, of brawls.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah.
All right.
So, overall good event for
yeah,
sure, though.
Incredible event. You know, not 100% sure kind of going into it. You know, we were obviously a little disappointed that, 2026 marks the time of no more Adam Wardzinski, you know.
Sure.
Congratulations to Mika Galvao and Amit Alor, who just welcomed their healthy baby boy to the world. So that's very, very exciting. But, you know, some of our bigger, heavier hitters, guys who we love watching, weren't there, and some girls. But it turned out to be, man, a really, really fun event, especially the black belts. You know, they say the gi is dead. I'm still waiting to see it. You know, I'm still waiting to see that. It seems like the colored belts, the purple belts, these juvenile blue belts, brown belts, kind of more exciting than ever. And, black belts delivered on Friday and Saturday. It was a fun event.
I think, like, one thing that I've been noticing on, in recent time, like very recent time, I mean, in these like last few jiu-jitsu events on the IBJJF circuit and everything, the gi events especially, is I feel like there was a time, all right, and this is like your era, like earlier days of Flow, like 2017, around then, whenever, like, who were the colored belts in 2017? That was probably like Tynan, probably won, like Purple Belt World.
Tynan, Mateus, Rodriguez were being the guys, you know, Victor Hugo was probably in there, you know, Roberto Jimenez, Jansen,
It's like Ty and Mika, what were they? Were they probably like juvenile? They're fighting
they're
juveniles?
probably juvenile at that time, I think.
So there was this period where it was like, you know, the colored belts you would watch are like Tynan Dalpra, Victor Hugo, Jansen. Then the juveniles, Ty Ruotolo's fighting Mika Galvao at Euros, and I think that was like 2016.
2016, I think,
Euros, you know? And then we entered this era, like 2021-ish, where it's like now all these, like Tynan wins his first world championship, 2021, you know? It's like all these dudes who were like, everyone knows these are the colored belts you should be watching right now. And then now all those dudes kind of enter this era. That's like when I started at Flow 2021, that these dudes are now like winning their first black belt world championship. Fabricio Andre wins, Diego Pato wins, you know, like this stacked crew that have now like solidified themselves as like legitimate world champion black belts. And with that, I feel like there was a few years of like really good purple or really good color belts, but no like distinct like, and I know there's some exceptions, like Kabate at this time was still like a blue belt and stuff, you know, but like it wasn't like, man, I gotta tune in for this juvenile or this kid, you know, in the same way as like people were tuning in for Mika and Ty Ruotolo. But there was some of it, but not as like this solidified. I feel like now it's like back to like, if people are like, hey, who are the juvenile blue belts you're watching? I have like a long list, you know? Jonathan Anderson, JP Tran, still watching every JP Tran match, baby. Maybe we'll go into this a little later, my JP Tran segment, because we're, I think, 7 matches deep now into this journey. And boy, oh boy, is it a good journey to be on. You know, I feel bad for anybody who hasn't committed to watching every JP Tran match this year. But this list is like so long. Fernando Paiva, that Mickey kid from AOJ, you know? Yeah, there's a bunch of Melky kids like Lucinia and Arthur, and like Arthur Souza's. Like, there's so many of these kids. There's so many purple belts now that I'm like, yeah, here's the list of the sick purple belts. Here's the list of the sick brown belts, you know? Where I feel like it's like we're in a really good place right now where maybe Adam Wardzinski's retired, and, you know, that's a bummer. But we got Jalen Fonacier going out and going all submissions. The Roosterweight's going out now winning. He won Worlds. Now he won the second major on the path to the Grand Slam with all subs. Like, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. Like, we might not have that one overarching, like, oh, shit, Ty and Cade Ruotolo have entered, Mika entered type of thing, but it's like we just had this good spread of like good juveniles to tune in early, good black belts to watch, sick matches. The Vetteracci brothers put on a show. These dudes scrapping with each other. So I don't know. I guess that was one of my takeaways from watching this event is like I feel like there was maybe a couple years in there where it was like, man, who is like this next person I got to tune in for in the colored belts? Yeah. And we're like back with some like really good colored belts all the way through black belts. So
yeah, I agree.
I don't know if you think about that.
No, I agree. I think maybe kind of COVID kind of messed up a little bit of the colored belts, kind of like you know the path for everybody, and people got kind of held back or promoted early because of things were just weird at that time for a couple of years, you know. So I feel like maybe that was some of it, but I agree that like the juvenile blue belt list of people that I know and that I'm like excited to watch is longer than ever. And yeah, I think, man, this was just a great tournament. Also, just to kind of shout out, like you said, these kind of new black belts that are really proving themselves here and really kind of staking their claim to be kind of elite jiu-jitsu. And yeah, we've been a little spoiled with some of the bigger names that we kind of just know are going to give us, good jiu-jitsu. But yeah, like you said, man, Jalen has been killing it for a little while now, and it feels like he's really kind of coming into his own as like the best featherweight in the gi in the world, roosterweight in the world right now, and he's doing it so impressively. So big fan of him and watching him. We had another guy, Will Wilson.
Yeah, I gotta.
I'm not super hip to Will.
Hand up. I'm not hip to Will Wilson, but I will be soon enough.
Absolutely,
like,
man.
This dude is like American kid. He's got a nice look to him. He looks like a good stand-up fella.
Yeah.
Just like maybe a silly goose, but kind of more of a stand-up fella, if I'm being honest. And just good-looking, clean-cut guy goes out there winning Euros as an American. Like, I gotta get hip to this dude. I wanna learn more about Will Wilson and kind of watch him throughout this year.
And he had some crazy matches too. Some real physical, wild matches. There was one where he was like in a deep bow and arrow choke. And he was.
That's not one you get out of.
Yeah, for real. And he was able to get out of it and win the match. And so big ups to Will out there. He's I believe he's a very fresh new black belt here. Maybe only his first couple tournaments at black belt, and he's going out there and winning the European Championships in impressive style too. I thought he had a very fun final as well. So I'm excited to learn more about Will Wilson and his kind of story and how he's kind of gotten to where he's gotten. And excited to see him kind of, keep racking up some gold medals, of course, as well. You saw the debut of Sarah Galvao, who at the black belt. Of course, we've been watching Sarah now for a couple of years.
She did the crown, but this was like her black belt debut in a gi major.
There you go. Yeah.
So kind of I guess it's cool because we just got to see so much of Sarah as soon as she got her black belt, but it was kind of it made it like a weird, I thought Euros was going to be like the real black belt debut, but then we saw her at the Japanese or the Asian Championship in Japan, then the crown, then CJ, and I was like, oh shit. I've seen so much of Sarah as a black belt in 3 months of her but yeah, it was her major gi IBJJF.
Debut. Vetteracci bros are killing it.
Ashley
Funegra is new in there. Thais there, I think, finally got kind of punched her ticket to where beating Maisa is an incredible accomplishment. Not many people have ever beaten Maisa, and especially at that weight class. So, yeah, it was just, I think it was a really good showcase. Mateo Cardona made the finals. There's a bunch of other ones in there that I know I'm missing. I think it was a great performance from Leo Ferreira, who's just kind of been that second place behind Adam Wardzinski for, maybe 2 years now. And he's finally kind of getting his shine to be the guy. And I thought him versus Mateus Vetteracci there, for my money, was the best match of Euros, best match of the year so far, and maybe one of the best gi matches I've ever seen, to be honest. I just feel like it had all the ingredients for just like an incredible gi match. And they had some stoppages for the headbutt and some blood and stuff like that. And there was a couple resets, but very close to being kind of like, among that top 10 like jiu-jitsu matches I feel like I've seen all time in the gi. I thought it was just an incredibly physical match. Both guys going for takedowns, but both guys, sweeping, doing some good technique, and ended in a submission at the very end where a guy just did not want to tap and he had to, so it's just like that is kind of quintessential jiu-jitsu to me. Yeah,
for sure. You brought up bow and arrows earlier. A lot of people have been calling me Big Nasty, the Brawlic Baller with so run it back, delete that, Slack, delete that. Delete me doing a mess up on my bit, and now I'm going to run the bit back. So you brought up the bow and arrow, and a lot of people have been calling me Big Nasty, the Brawlic Brawler with the bow and arrow that'll break a boy into bits. So
that's what they've been calling
yeah.
it? Okay. You just wanted to bring that up?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that a lot of people have been calling me that.
Break them into bits?
Break a boy into bits.
Break a boy into bits.
Yeah.
All right, well.
So
that's what you're into, I guess.
Yeah. So you tell me, pal, if you're such a patriot.
You want to talk about the Gabby Pisania versus Sarah Galvao match a little bit? Because we knew on Friday that was going to be the absolute final on Saturday, and we kind of also knew that the men's absolute final was going to be a closeout a little bit. So we kind of knew that the main event of Saturday was going to be Gabby Pisania versus Sarah Galvao, and I think we've always kind of known that Sarah Galvao was going to meet Gabby Pisania here in the black belt division. In the absolute divisions. We've known that for a long time. Do you feel like it happened earlier than you thought it was going to?
For sure. Yeah. I will say, basically when the absolute bracket came out, like for the female absolute, I was kind of like, this looks like it's going to be Sarah versus Gabby, It was just a favorable run for both of them to make it to the finals. You can kind of always count on Gabby for the most part to be in both finals on the female side. But just like kind of looking at how the bracket shaped up, it was like, oh, wow, I think we're going to see Sarah versus Gabby. And then obviously it played out that way. I don't know. It was like a little bit of a surreal experience, I would say, to be like watching Sarah in her first black belt gi major, and like we're going to see her go up against Gabby Pisania. Like, I know she lost to Liz Clay by submission, took a loss to Tayani last year, but it's like still probably the female GOAT currently, Like, I think she probably still holds that title. She probably have to get beaten a few more times before people catch up to her. But so it did feel like, whoa, is this really going to happen, And it definitely, like, it was cool that that was probably the first ever female match to, like, end an IBJJF major, to be the last. It's
kind of a good point, to be honest.
To be like the last finite match. And I think that's honestly like a good thing, like a telling thing for what some of these female athletes are currently doing in the sport and how big of a wave they're making and how how exciting these females currently are. Like, they just are some of the most exciting grapplers on earth, like undeniably, to the point where, like, I do think this was the first ever time that a female match was the final, kind of like the main event, if you will, of the IBJJF finals. And so I think that's an awesome thing for sure. And, shout out Sarah and Gabby. Like, that match was nuts. Like, Sarah ended up losing by 1 advantage. So it was 2 advantages to 1. Definitely some opportunities where it seemed like Sarah was right there, on getting her second advantage. And who knows, even like a couple close looks at like a pass where it was kind of like, oh, wow, is Sarah going to pass Gabby right here? Sarah ate Gabby's footlock, so it was kind of like, all right, so Sarah's got, something going on where she can defend that. Like, obviously she lost to Helena Cravar via a leg lock, and so it's like, who knows? Did it hurt her? Is that going to be a problem? But then it's like, boom, she survives probably the deadliest straight ankle lock in all of gi jiu-jitsu and makes it out of that kind of fine and everything. So I thought it was incredible. I think this is like setting up the 2026 season to be a wild thing. Like, we have like, like our little group chats and everything. And right afterwards, I like messaged everyone. I was like, bro, do you think we see Sarah beat Gabby at some point in 2026? Like, which I think Gabby, like I said this after she lost to Tayani, I think Gabby, like, beating her twice is like, might be near impossible. You know what I mean? So like, it's one thing to like do it and get the win. Has anyone came back and beaten her twice? Like, Tayani hasn't done it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We have to see Liz Clay fight her again, So it's like she's obviously able to, like, progress and evolve at a crazy rate where she can lose Brasileiros to Tayane and then submit Tayane at Worlds, like just one tournament later. So who knows? Is she going to come prepared for Sarah with a whole new game plan if they meet again? You know, is Sarah doing that? Like, how good is Sarah Galvão? I have no idea at this point. Sarah Galvão might end 2026 as the outright greatest grappler on earth. Like, I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see.
Like, it's just like, maybe not, you know? Maybe she's just like, the bracket shaped out well for her, but like, maybe she ends up as the greatest grappler on earth. I don't know. It seems like there's no foreseeable limit on how good Sarah Galvão can be at this point. Like that was my takeaway from watching her in her
still so
debut.
young, right?
Yeah.
No, I agree. Definitely a very impressive performance from Sarah, and I thought that she had a really good game plan. It looked like she was really well prepared for this match. Knew exactly what this match was going to look like. It was going to be a technical match. It was going to be a close match. It was going to see Gabby kind of playing exclusive guard, trying to invert underneath, trying to snatch an ankle, and I thought that Sarah kind of like was really prepared for a lot of the stuff that Gabby was going to bring, a lot of those inversions, a lot of her kind of grabbing after the ankles and stuff like that. So definitely impressed there.
we got Chip Dog walking around. You want to come on the show, Ray?
You want to come on?
What do you want to talk about?
I don't want to talk about nothing.
Hey, tell Reed he's trying to claim that this isn't true. Hasn't everyone in the office been calling me the Brawler Big Nasty?
I mean, yeah, I thought we were going with Luther Manhole.
No, yeah.
I thought Luther Manhole.
No.
Oh, we're on the same page.
No, everyone's been saying that I'm Big Nasty, the brawler with a bow and arrow that'll break a boy into bits.
Dude, I need a shirt.
Exactly.
That's pretty good.
So confirmed.
That's pretty good.
Ray confirmed.
Nobody calls you that. But what was I talking about? Yeah,
You probably weren't talking about shit, dude. You're talking about Sarah.
Sarah, yeah, just had a great game plan, and I thought maybe that it made just one little tactical kind of mistake there on the edge of the mat where she was passing. She was furiously passing there, and she got the advantage, and maybe potentially could have got another advantage. I feel like if she kept trying to kind of like go after that pass, ended up kind of settling on the front headlock and trying to kind of pull Gabby kind of like back into the center of the mat. Obviously, Gabby a lot bigger than Sarah, so that seemed to be pretty difficult. Then Gabby was able to kind of sit back and they just reset things back in the center. But I thought she was this close, I think, to getting a win there over Gabby. And I'm not sure, though, if I want to see Gabby versus Sarah again.
No?
Before Worlds.
Save it for
I want to see it at Worlds, of course,
yeah.
But like Gabby seems to be somebody who can kind of gather that data, gather that kind of, whatever she needs to do to really make sure she beats girls. And I wonder if like the more Sarah fights Gabby, the more she's going to be able to kind of have some answers for some of the things that Sarah does.
Yeah.
Same could be said the other way as well. But I'm just not sure if I want to see it at Pans, Brasileiros.
You don't want to see it 4 times.
Yeah. I kind of want to like that. That was an incredible match. A lot of question marks here. Clearly, I think Sarah is capable of closing that gap. Gabby, one of the greatest of all times. I want to see this at the World Championships.
That's a good point,
and let's kind of settle it once and for all for 2026. Who knows? But
that's a good point. Yeah, you get it first major of the year and then the last one. That's kind of like a great, like, just kind of ongoing thing looming in the distance. But so that would be sick for sure. I did want to just point out that Sarah Galvão just got announced as a super fight at the IBJJF Nogi Grand Prix. I believe it's a gi super fight. I don't know if it specifies for sure, but I would think it's a gi super fight. And it's going to be Sarah Galvão going against Maria Vicentini out of AOJ, which is also, Maria is she fights up a couple weight classes compared to Sarah. So Sarah's just nuts, to be honest, I know we talk a lot about Sarah. Maybe some people are like, hey, why you guys love Sarah so much? It's like, well...
Helena on there, too?
Awesome,
Helena's got a super fight on there, too?
Yeah, Helena's fighting Agatha Habalo.
Yeah, this IBJJF Nogi Grand Prix, low-key turning into one of the best events of the year, in my opinion. Gi and Nogi.
And then Leo Souza versus Mateo Cardona.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mateo Cardona having a good start to his year.
Yeah. So that one's going to be sick. I'm excited for that, but I just wanted to point that out that it's like, a lot of these young athletes they're just rolling now and they're not stopping. Like Mateo Cardona included. I like watching Mateo Cardona a lot. He ended up making the finals as well, so good for him. Just a bunch of young dope grapplers out there on the scene so far. But.
Another great match there from the finals on Saturday, Kennedy versus Cole. That was another wild match there, and those two have a bit of a rivalry. It seems like a pretty not contentious, but just like a, you know, they're neck and neck with each other, you know, and they've kind of had these matches that just come down to the final seconds of the match a couple times now, and unfortunately Cole's been on the losing end of it a few times now, but that's a great rivalry. You know, you could see how much that win meant to Kennedy Maciel to beat Cole Kabate, to beat the AOJ guys, you know, to win another European title, which I believe was his second European title after last year.
I thought that was one of the wild things about how that match played out, is that it was so in step with what happened last year, just kind of like flipped roles. Obviously, the outcome was still the same. Kennedy won both. But like last year, if you remember, it was like in the last final seconds, it was Cole the one who was down, and he was throwing like, you know, all these crazy attacks, and he was like this close to getting the points and scoring on Kennedy, but Kennedy was
maybe
just
taking the back.
Yeah, he was like hanging off the back, you know, one hook in, and he was just right there, and he didn't get the points. He wasn't able to get those last second points. Now a year later, we're in the same position, and
where Cole's protecting his lead,
but Kennedy was able to get the points. So it's kind of like a bummer for Cole, but I thought that was so interesting. Like, that's how close these dudes are, that it's just like 1 year later now, it's basically the same kind of result, where it's like it's the match basically decided in the last like little 10 seconds there or something. Like, it was, Kennedy was so close on the points that it was like there was a moment where you had to wait and see if the referees were going to say like time ran out, or if he had like like 3 seconds or whatever he needed to score those points if there was enough time. Like, that's how close it was to the match being over. So definitely crazy there. I think it's cool. It's cool when there's little rivalries blossoming, you know,
absolutely.
for sure. So,
you know, and both guys didn't have the results they wanted at the World Championships either, so that they're still both very hungry and kind of coming after those gold medals. So I'd love to see it. Cole's still very, very young. A lot of upside to Cole. You know, I think eventually his time will come as long as he keeps at it, and he seems pretty dedicated, and he's got a great team of people around him and everything like that. Got to be frustrating for him, I'm sure, but you know, Cole's a champion through and through.
Dude, I hope we see Cole in the ADCC mix this year.
Yeah,
to be honest.
me too.
I don't know what his current career like goals and like plan is and everything. You know, I don't know if he's like really hunting like a gi world championship or what. But it's like, dude, I hope we see him at trials. I hope we see him in Poland. Like, I would love to see Cole Kabate.
Yeah, Tynan too. To be honest, Tynan had he had a great match against Jose Steve there in the finals. Great to have a little bit of kind of a fresh new blood in that middleweight division there with Jose Steve. Who's got a really fun kind of physical style as well, but you know, it's all the Tynan show over there in that middleweight division still. And man, fingers crossed, maybe one day he dips his toe into ADCC as well. But
there's a little period there where he teased us. You know, it seemed like that was like he made his Nogi debut. He did a couple super fights. It was like, are we trending towards Tynan at ADCC? And so now I don't know. He's kind of like completely back off of that, and like. That would be sick as well. But, yeah, I don't know. I know that's not, you know, everything from Euros, but there's a lot
that happened anyway.
There's a lot for sure. There's like, you know, you can go on FloGrappling, watch all the matches, all that. Anything specific I guess we should talk about? You guys want a JP Tran update?
Sure. Let's give us the JP Tran.
All right, I think we're 7 matches in on our quest to watch every JP Tran match this year. I've committed to it. I'm going to watch every single match that JP Tran does. JP, if you're watching this, I'm going to know when you're competing at all the majors and everything. If you're doing any smaller side events like San Diego Open or anything like that, let me know, dude. Hit me up, send me a DM, tell me that you're going to be competing at somewhere else that I might not have realized, you know, so I can make sure I tune in. Because I'm watching all of those. If this JP, if you compete in somebody's garage and end up just there like, hey, you want to do a super fight with my blah, 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 you let me know, dude, because I got to get eyes on that. I'm watching everything you do this year. And so we're 7 matches in. JP is currently 6-1, so he won his division. I believe he kicked
6 matches in his division.
I think so.
That's crazy.
Yeah, unless I got my count wrong and it's 5-1, but I think it's 6-1 if I'm not mistaken. I know he comes out. I think he had 3 submissions. He comes out. He had a Terrico Plata in his second match. I believe
Terrico Plata all the rage with the juveniles. Huh?
For sure. Yeah. I guess these kids just kind of like grew up with it as like a known move. You know, it's probably just like. learned it.
And a lot of maybe like a lot of these like straight arm bars and like Kimuras are just like hard to submit. These like little kids that have Gumby joints.
That's
and
a good
stuff.
point.
And the Terraco Plata is a little bit more like a very secure.
Kind of put your whole weight into your shoulder. So he had a couple arm bars, I believe. You know, he showed off a little wrestling. I didn't know JP was a wrestler, dude. He was showing the evolution of the AOJ style. They're not just, you know, butt scooters. They can do a little wrestling too. So JP was out there wrestling, but he ended up taking home gold. I think he scored like 5 or 7 points in the final. It was a pretty sick little match. Definitely all these kids he fought as well, all the juveniles he fought, definitely seemed like pretty tough dudes also. So off to a good start, and then he ended up losing first round of the absolute. But, you know, it's a good start to the commitment of watching every JP Tran match. So you guys, I'm impressed for sure. JP Tran's really good, you know. I like what I see so far in this kid, you know. You know what? I'm going to give him the brawler big nasty stamp of approval. I think he's pretty good. I'll go ahead and say it. I think JP Tran's pretty good. So that's the JP Tran update.
There you go.
Why don't you commit to watching somebody? You want to watch every Will Wilson match or something? Or you just catch what you can? I'll just catch what I can, you know?
I was going to say I should commit to every Mickey Whelan match, but maybe not 2 AOJ guys. I don't know.
You were opposing me on the live stream, huh?
Oh, yeah, because you said Arthur was going to win, and I was like, dude, Mickey
I didn't
Whelan.
necessarily say Arthur was going to win.
I was like, Mickey's a beast and has been a beast for a long time.
I didn't quite...
He's like Tynan's like main training partner.
Yeah, I didn't really quite realize who it was at the time because his name was spelled out like Michael whatever.
Yeah.
And I always knew of like the Mickey AOJ prodigy kid, you know? And but it was like at the time I just read like Michael whatever, so I'm like, okay, it's AOJ kid. And I am a big fan of Arthur Souza. I'm not going to lie. The Melky kid Arthur... that kid, you know, I did some training with Arthur, and I absolutely destroyed him, but he lied afterwards and said that he beat me. These kids don't even know the rules, dude. I was dog walking him. I was playing freaking offensive turtle like a legend. I was letting him work and then escaping it by just picking him up and hitting him against the side of the wall. So if an outsider who doesn't even know what jiu-jitsu is saw that, they would think I did a freaking domestic abuse on this kid, all right? They might lock me up seeing what I did to Arthur. And then he has the audacity to come to me and said he won based on IBJJF rules? Get out of here, Arthur, dude. Come on, man. So, you know, yeah, I was definitely cheering for Arthur a little bit, but Mickey ended up getting the win there.
Yeah,
bunch of incredible kids. I feel like we're going to see
Barambolowers.
Yeah, true. I feel like we're going to see a ton of AOJ versus Melky Galvao juvenile matches this year, you know? AOJ's got like this whole squad of just like beast juveniles. Fernando Paiva.
Yeah, Fernando's still juvenile?
Yeah, he's a juvenile. He was Melky Galvao, switched over AOJ.
Oh, he's AOJ now. Wow.
Yeah, that's the kid who
B. John, I remember.
Yeah, and him and Kalabi they fought, and that was like a crazy.
That's right.
Because they
that
were
was last year at World in the absolute division.
Yeah, so some drama in the. I love drama about 16-year-old blue belt boys, dude. Some of my favorite stuff.
I gotta distance myself from this podcast.
And so I'm just so deep into it, you know. But so yeah, I mean, there's tons of crazy matches, and I do think like AOJ and Melky Galvao currently have kind of insane juvenile teams to watch. And like, yeah, John Anderson's still in the mix. All these kids, you know that.
He's adult blue belt now, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he moved up to adult, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was old enough to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Me neither.
But so yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on there. You want to dive into Polaris?
Yeah, let's do it. So Trey and I are about to literally moments away from getting on a plane to go to
True.
Wales. My first time in Wales.
Yep.
You've been there before.
I went to Swansea.
Yep. But really excited for Polaris 35. Of course, everybody knows the story. We had it a long time ago, and this is the first event back now on FloGrappling. Killer card there. Excited to see all the boys, you know, and everybody out there. Daddy's coming, so it's gonna be a great event. They got a couple super fights. I don't know, what do you want to do? You want to break down a couple of this stuff, talk about it? Or?
Yeah, I think we can just like run down it real quick. Talk about it. Maybe we could do a little 1v1 draft or something if you're down, you know?
Yeah, one thing I am excited about is this super fight. They only have a couple super fights on the card. They got a whole undercard. On the main card. They got a whole undercard of super fights. But then they have this Davis Asari versus Levi Jones-Leary super fight, which I think I'm really, really excited about. It's been a minute, I guess, since we've seen Levi, right? Can't think the last time I saw Levi.
I don't think I've seen Levi since...
Yeah, been a while.
CJI like won.
Yeah,
I don't know.
CJI
I'm sure they've
won.
done something since then, right?
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Levi. Yeah, hopefully he's won a little bit of money over the last couple of years in jiu-jitsu, and has had that spider tournament where he won some money and CGI won some money. So hopefully he's chilling. But
I mean, like you asked earlier, like if I knew where Levi Jones-Leary is living currently.
Yeah.
This dude lives in a galactic plane of his own existence that no other could visit or frequent. Like Levi and Roberto, they probably cross paths, out in the galactic universe and everything. But other than that, they don't live in the mere earth that we live on. These dudes are out there doing their own thing. And so I love whenever Levi Jones-Leary decides to descend upon the human earth, and grace us with a little jiu-jitsu that we get to watch and enjoy. So I'm super stoked for Levi to be on Polaris. I think he's the middleweight champ for Polaris as well. So this is a middleweight title match between him and Davis. And Davis is like, I have no idea how good Davis is either, to be honest.
It's a lot of question marks around him.
He's so young, and he has some really good performances. He'll lose every now and then, I don't think he's won a trials yet, right? He's made the finals and then lost to Tommy in 2024.
Yeah, beat Taza, and then...
Yeah. So it's kind of like, he's right there, but he's like, man, is he enough to get over the hump? Could he beat somebody like Levi Jones-Leary? I think we're going to for sure see, like, incredible guard work by Levi in this. Probably I think Levi, some people like to hate on guard players in jiu-jitsu, no secret there. They sometimes say they're boring, whatever. I think Levi is the type of guard player that I love to watch. I'm like, this is so crazy watching this guy throw his legs over in all these insane ways and inverting and grabbing onto something. It's like, I think Levi uses his guard in a very entertaining way.
Very offensive.
Very offensive in my opinion. And I feel like we probably are going to see Davis passing, Levi playing guard, and then into some sort of crazy submission attempts and everything from both guys, trying to find one little crack in the other's armor to kind of capitalize, and who knows where it'll go from there.
Yeah, very interesting match because I just think that both guys are kind of on very different trajectories, one a little bit more of a veteran, kind of maybe waning in his competition, that's what it seems like anyway.
Yeah.
Not that his level's gone down or anything like that. I'm sure his level's gone quite a bit up, but we've just seen less and less of Levi. Davis on the other hand, still young, maybe is he still a purple belt or brown belt or?
I think he's a purple belt. Maybe he got a brown belt.
Yeah. So still very young in his career, and kind of on the opposite side of things, in that he's kind of trying to amp up his competition. Although I feel like I haven't seen Davis Asari against elite competition in a little while now, maybe since the last trials a couple years ago there. But so both guys just on very different kind of trajectories in their life. But just love watching Levi Jones-Leary. He's a dude who does difficult things easily, and got to shout out Levi Jones-Leary. That dude's awesome to watch jiu-jitsu. We don't get to see enough of him, so excited to see that match between him and Davis. And I think honestly both guys have a good shot to win here. To be honest, so there's a lot of question marks. I don't really know how it's going to go.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it plays out though. Can't say enough good things about the opportunity to watch Levi. I think Levi's a captivating person. I like watching whenever he would go around New York City with his little synthesizer rapping to
freestyle.
He's just an electric dude. But another big, before we get into the teams, the squads matchup, another big super fight. We're going to see Adele Fornerino going up against Selma Vick. Obviously, everybody knows Adele Fornerino at this point. ADCC double gold champ, arguably one of the best females, one of the best grapplers overall competing in the world today. And then Selma Vick is she's young, very exciting up-and-comer out of Norway. She trains at Trondheim. Obviously, she's kind of cool with all the Norwegian grapplers, I assume. Probably trains at Oxy or at Wolfing with Tommy and those guys. Probably trains with Tarek in Oslo, but I believe her team is actually Trondheim, which I think is a little more northern Norway, if I'm not mistaken. But first time I got real hip to Selma, and we have talked about Selma a decent amount on here, is whenever she fought Nia Blackman in the gi absolute finals at 2021 Euros in Rome. And it was just an electric match, and she's kind of always had a lot of really sick matches and everything. She's had some good submissions at the most recent Euro trials for ADCC. I don't think she made the finals. I think she got like maybe the round before the finals or something. I'm not sure. But always some good performances. So it's definitely like a big jump in competition level for Selma, I would say. Like she hasn't fully broken through onto that level yet, but it's a good opportunity, you know? It's like I think this is Adele's first ever fight on the promotion. So she recently signed like a European contract with Polaris. And I believe it's her debut on Polaris. Selma has competed on Polaris a few times. So, I think it should be cool. I'm excited for this one also. Definitely cool to get Adele in the mix. And, you know, I'm a fan of Selma personally. I think she's fun to watch. So it's cool to see, you know, what she can do kind of with a major opponent like Adele, especially with the second Euro trials looming in the distance. You know, she's going to get to go up against the reigning double gold ADCC champ in her weight division. So it's kind of like, you know, it's a good little test. Even if you kind of like maybe Selma loses, but she has some good good looks at certain things, able to like score some points or get some advantageous stuff going. I think that's like a good thing to kind of roll into this next Euro trials where it's like, all right, I'm on this level of someone who should be at ADCC, and being able to kind of carry that into trials might be a good thing. So, yeah, I think it should be fun, though, for sure.
I think Adele needs a foil, you know. She needs kind of a joker, you know, to her Batman or so to speak, whatever, you know. And you thought it maybe was going to be kind of Fionn, but then kind of Fionn went in a different direction a little bit. And, you know, you thought maybe it would be Jasmine, but, you know, Adele has just been so dominant, you know, and even you know, against Anna Mayer-Domo there, who we're really high on as well, and Anna has had some really impressive performances, and Adele has just been able to make quick work of so many of these girls so quickly. It just goes to show how dominant she is, and how that ADCC run and in the absolute division, that was no fluke. Like Adele is one of the greatest female grapplers in the world right now, you know, if not the greatest female grappler in the world right now. And it's a big opportunity for Selma, you know. I don't know as I'm not as familiar with her game, but like I said, I think she's got all the opportunity in the world here to really make a name for herself. You know, she's you know, nobody's really expecting a lot from her, so she can really kind of just go out there and play as free as she wants, and hopefully, you know, upsets what everybody's thinking, and a new star is born. You know, that's how this type of stuff happens. We see it all the time. Will we see it, you know, on Saturday? We'll see.
They kind of set up for their main card super fights a little Australia versus Europe thing, huh?
Oh yeah, I guess
it's
so.
Australia versus Norway actually.
Wow.
David Asari and Selma are both Norwegian, and
Australia versus Norway.
Yeah, and Levi and Adele are both Australian.
Yeah,
what the heck are we? What's going on, Polaris? You guys do this on purpose? What are you guys doing, putting the Australians up against the Norwegians? I, for one, think Australians and Norwegians should be friends, dude.
They're both of the cooler countries for sure.
Yeah,
but I
guess, you know, this is war come January 31st, where we see Norway going up against Australia. Don't miss it on Polaris. But you want to dive into the real war going on at Polaris 35?
Sure, let's jump into
the real war. We got Team W&O going up against Team Polaris. All right, and this one is for all the marbles, dude.
Every single one of them.
Yep, all the marbles. I don't actually know what's on the line, but it's a lot, dude. It's more than you're even... Think about how much you think is on the line. If you're watching, how much you think's on the line, imagine it.
Think about all the marbles you can think of.
It's more than that. That's how much is on the line, dude. This is nuts, man. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's happening. There's so much riding on this, and I think it should be sick. You know, we kind of, in a few episodes ago, we did a full deep dive into how the squads works. But, yeah, we can kind of talk some about this. Maybe do our own little draft here. But, go ahead and list off the teams real quick for everybody.
All right, so Team Polaris is Sentiri, Owen O'Flanagan, you got Lucas Kennard, you got Taylor Perriman, you got Owen Jones, and, of course, coming in last second for Mateusz Jasinski is Mara McKean. Team W&O, we got Declan Moody, we got Lucas Lira.
Oh, yeah!
We got Devontae Johnson.
Oh, yeah!
We got Chris Wojcik.
Oh!
And we got Gavin and DeAndre Corby, the Corby brothers.
Man, our in-studio audience was going nuts there for the W&O team.
They were going crazy. The W&O team's pretty impressive, you know?
No, obviously both these teams are sick for sure.
I want to see Chris Wojcik versus... You know, Owen O'Flanagan. I want to see the Corby bros versus Lucas Kennard. You know, it's like I want to see Taylor Perriman versus Declan Moody.
Dude, honestly, imagine either Corby, bro, whichever one would want it. I don't know if one would prefer it more than the other versus Mayram. That seems like a crazy match.
Who? Corby's versus Mayram?
Yeah. Either Corby. I would if I was the team captain.
And like we might see both Corby's versus Mayram.
True. So you're saying one of them might lose to?
I mean, potentially. I'm just saying you never know how these things are going to go out.
Imagine the situation. And listen, Corby bros.
Even in the second half, it could happen where it's like
true.
Things
they
get
come
dealt.
back around. Everyone recycles kind of. Listen, Corby bros. This is for, good storytelling. I don't wish this upon you, so don't think I'm, dissing you guys or anything. Imagine DeAndre versus Mayram goes out there. Mayram, flying armbar submits DeAndre. The team captain can send anybody out. They can pick anyone. They can send Devontae out there. They could send Lucas Lira, Declan, whoever. And they decide to send little bro, who I think is actually big bro, Gavin Corby. They send Gavin, the slightly smaller of the two, I believe. But I think Gavin's his older brother, actually. I don't know.
Yeah, I forget.
But send Gavin out to redeem DeAndre, and Gavin takes care of Mayram, knocks him out. Then they send Owen out to get redemption for himself from who's number one. Just imagine the possibilities, dude. Just imagine all these possibilities. And that one's just off the dome ski. So what happens then? That happens? What are you saying? As a fan of the sport, what are you saying?
I'm cheering. I'm hyped. I'm hyped.
Exactly.
And then it's like, and then Santiri comes out, And then it's like, now it's Gavin versus Santiri.
oh, really? So Gavin beat Owen again?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, my God. Owen, dude, that was messed up. Owen, dude, that was messed up. As soon as we get to Wales, dude, I'll help you take care of this guy. You know what I mean? Dude's plotting on your downfall, man.
That's not true.
Let's get Ferris and let's just stomp this guy out, dude. No, I'm just kidding. But, for real, I think there's just so many great, potential things to happen in this squads event. I love Polaris squads. I think it's a very fun event to watch, I think just to be honest, every event in jiu-jitsu, every team event, super fight show, everybody just has their own rules, their own way of doing things, their own format. Jiu-jitsu is the least unified sport on earth, to be honest, when it comes to rules and formats and everything. So every team event has kind of their own style. I am a big fan of Quintet as well, but I do think Polaris has a unique, fun way of watching jiu-jitsu.
Polaris squads specifically.
Polaris squads, yeah, squads
as well.
Where it's just 2 45-minute halves, 5-minute matches, mandatory 30-second or 1-minute rest. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's just a mandatory short rest because it's obviously the winner stays format where they want to this guy has to kind of fight multiple people. So it's just once it gets going, it's just basically 45 minutes of nonstop action. It's you're watching jiu-jitsu matches, and 5 minutes is a great time. It's kind of similar to ADCC trials at 6 minutes, where it's if this one starts turning into a stinker, you don't got to wait too long. It's just kind of it's all right, yep, this one was a stinker. Get him out of there, Get him out of there, dude, and get somebody else in. So, obviously, someone will still win. There will be a judge's decision, even if it's a stinker, and then there will be someone new come in. So now it's boom, now we're back to a sick match. Then we go stinker. Then we go sick match, sick match, sick match. Now we go stinker. Now we go sick match, So that's what I like about squads. This dude's yawning on the show, bro. This dude's yawning. Cut to Reed right now. Oh, my gosh, man. He couldn't
Trey's so
it.
mad that when I yawn on the show sometimes. Man, bummer.
These dudes are trying to no-sell my joke.
I went to bed late last night.
And they're yawning. Why?
I was just stressed last night, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
If you want to get into it.
Yeah. Grow up, bucko.
So
everybody's
I just had a hard time
stressed.
going to bed, but
Everyone's stressed, dude. Save it for your therapist. Be entertaining for our audience.
True.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
I went to bed late last night, too.
We're locked in.
Yeah.
No. That's all I got on Polaris.
All right, let's do a little draft. This is a 1v1 sub-hunters draft, and this one is for all the marbles. Imagine how many marbles you were thinking of when you were thinking of Team WNO versus Team Polaris. Imagine how many marbles, and then when I said it's even more than that, this one is for even more than that, dude.
No, it's not.
Yes,
it can't be.
It can't be. No, it literally is. This one's for so many marbles. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all 12 members of the Polaris and WNO rosters into a pool, and then we're going to draft our own team of 6, and then basically we're going to add up how many points these guys accumulate throughout the event. So it's like, obviously, you know, Owen Jones goes out and submits Declan. I think that'll be 3 points. And so, 3 points. I wonder if they get a bonus if they not just win, but they submit someone higher.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But let's say he gets whatever points. Then I had Owen Jones. Then boom, now my team has 3 points. And then, like, you know, it's not based on WNO or Polaris. It's just our own teams. Their individual points go into our new team's points.
So is it just 3 and 1, or 3 points or 1 point basically you can get?
3, 2, or 1.
You get 3, 2, or 1?
Yeah, so 1 point if you win by judge's decision, 2 points if you submit the guy, and then 3 points if there's a weight difference.
All right, cool. You want to do rock, paper, scissors, shoot for first pick?
Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I'm going scissors, shoot. Boom, got it.
Dang. I thought he was trying to, you know, do some Levi Jones-Leary.
I enacted the mental warfare. All right, okay. Let's see here. You got the roster over there? Now that it comes time to draft, this is really hard.
I can take first pick.
Okay, yeah, and we'll go snake format. So I get 2.
No. Okay. I pick Declan Moody.
Declan Moody?
Yeah, Declan Moody. Dibs on Declan Moody.
Okay, so you didn't take into account the fact that he has no possibility of hitting a 3-pointer.
He doesn't have any possibility of hitting a 3-pointer?
There's no one heavier than him. He's in the heaviest weight class.
All right, I still take Declan Moody.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Trey, shut up, dude.
Sorry, boys.
I'm gonna beat you up.
You want to beat up the brawler, big nasty with the bow and arrow that'll break a boy into bits? You want to beat me up? All right. So you got Declan. I'm gonna take Mayrum.
And while I'm talking, Trey's just like formulating bits in his head. You know, he's not even listening to anything I'm saying. He's just
I can do both.
He's just formulating funny bits in his head, and then when I stop talking, then he just does his bits and doesn't even remember what I said. So, who's the real bad guy here?
What the hell were you just talking about?
Is it my pick?
What was Reed talking about?
Is it my pick?
No, it's mine, man. I don't know what you're on about. All right, I got Mayrum with my first pick.
Wait, what?
I picked Mayrum.
Okay.
And now I'm going to pick... I'm going to pick Taylor Pearman.
Dude, you can't just pick all of the UK guys.
Why not?
I'm going to pick...
I'm not going to. Are you going to pick all the WNO guys?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you picked...
We end up with our teams are just Polaris versus WNO. I'm a turncoat.
All right, I guess I'm going to pick Owen O'Flanagan.
Okay. I mean, I wanted light guys who I think can still submit people in this, because then there's potential for the bonus.
Okay.
That was my strategy.
Yeah.
You get another pick now.
Oh, I get another pick?
Yeah, we're snake format.
Yeah, I'll pick DeAndre Corby.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. I probably should get a big boy though, huh? Some rough and tumble brawlic type of guy. What? Are you trying to do like a bit where you're laughing at me?
No. All right, come on. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, no pick.
Oh, I get no pick now? You don't make the rules, dude. Lucas
5.
Lira.
Hey.
It's funny because Reed actually does make the rules for me. He's literally my boss. Have you ever thought about reprimanding me for some of my actions?
You got another pick?
Yeah. You want to know who it is?
Yeah.
All right. Santiri. So if you don't know, Santiri's he's a Finnish grappler.
Gotcha,
Been in ADCC a few times.
All right, I'm picking Owen Jones.
Owen Jones. All right. Second pick.
Chris Wojcik.
Chris Wojcik. That's a good one.
My team is dynamite right now.
Yeah?
Trey is shaking in his boots.
Yeah?
Ever since I picked Declan Moody, this dude's been shaking in his boots.
Yes, so everyone on your team is
Why does it take you 45 minutes to take a pick?
Everyone on their team,
take a pick,
because I'm thinking of bits too. Everyone on your team is an incredible grappler. I got nothing bad to say about them, so I just want to go on the record with that. And obviously, you have a differing opinion about the guys on my team, huh? All right, who's available? Devontae,
Lucas
Gavin,
Kennard.
Lucas Kennard.
Yeah, those three. I think.
Okay, I'm going Gavin and Lucas Kennard.
All right, I got Devontae then.
Yep.
All right, sick. May the best man win.
May the best.
Clearly,
man
it's going to be me, but.
Writing this down real quick. So Reed's team is Declan, Owen, DeAndre, Owen Jones, Chris, and Devontae. My team is Mayroom, Taylor Pearman, Lucas Lira, Santiri, Gavin, and Lucas Kennard. All right. Interesting little how these teams shook up, huh?
Absolutely. You want to shake on it?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I got him. Oh, man. Should we just end it right there, or? I'm just kidding.
That's the kind of schoolyard bullshit we're on, huh? That's the kind of stuff. That's how you want to act.
Oh, man.
As a 39-year-old man.
All that.
As a 39-year-old man, that's how you want to act?
39.
You're not 39.
I'm not 39.
Jeez. All right. Before we close out, so we don't have to end on that. So we don't have to end on that because that'll hurt my feelings. What do you think of your team? You're happy with them?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you think about your team. Thank you guys for tuning in to the FloGrappling show. Obviously, Polaris 35 going down January 31st. We're going to be out there. It's going to be exciting stuff. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Sweet. Good job, Trey.
Yeah, right.
Fell for that hook, line, sinker, brother.
As I went into it, I was like, wait. I was like in too deep, and I was like, I think I might.
I was like, wait, should I do that? I was like, no, that's too much. And I was like, no,